Today, it would be more a kind of demo, what data analytics is, what data analyst does. That is what we are going to discuss. And then maybe from tomorrow, we would be directly jumping to the SQL related aspects and how what all SQL is, what all databases is. So, I mean, to just get started with the matches Champions Trophy is going on, right? So, has anyone watched yesterday's match?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, how many of you think that New Zealand and India final would be there? How many of you think India would win? Or how many of you think New Zealand would?
As to my understanding, I think each and every corner of the India we see. So yeah, they are the perfect in each and every corner. So when it comes to bowling, so they are perfect, and when it comes to the batting, so yeah, they are perfect one. And as per the condition and as per the pitch we have in Dubai. So as per this, I can say yeah.
We are considering pitch. We are considering our previous record. We are still playing at Dubai, right?
Yes,
The same stadium, except that the pitches are different. We have that benefit, but how do we understand that benefit? By maybe some previous information where we have collected that, yeah, we are still playing at that same condition, but except the different pitches are there. Have you seen the yesterday's batting, the New Zealand batting? It was, I mean, disastrous. I mean, disastrous in the sense less number of runs, but comparatively they have scored a very heavy. So they will come with that same attitude that we want to win this final. Now, yes, as an Indian, we always feel that India should win. Definitely. Even I feel India should win. We have that one advantage that we are still playing at same venue. Even though the pitches are different, our team is still balanced side. But what all this information suggests, this is all about how you analyze your previous information, previous history, what is your previous data. Now, if you're considering any real-time scenario, I mean, it's just a match. You consider anything which is surrounding you. Maybe you're a student, maybe you are a working professional. So how do you organize your things? How do you work for any specific company? How are you working? The way of working, everything depends on your surroundings, even your surroundings. I mean, how you analyze this with your previous information, what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve. So wherever you go, there is some information, there is some data. So that is what the data analyst does in day-to-day life. So we would be starting with what exactly the data analyst is, why data analyst is important. I mean, what is his role? So if you want to be a data analyst, now not only data, for a data analyst, even understanding of business is important. Now we were talking about cricket. One who knows about cricket, one who watches cricket frequently, he would only be able to understand that, right? So if you pick up any person who is not interested in cricket, and if you drop that person that I want to perform some analysis on this, understand the business first, and then only he has to make some analysis, he has to get some results. So if you want to be a data analyst, not only data, along with data, what type of data is it? What type of business is it? So we need to understand data, we need to understand domain as well as business of it. So if you want to be a data analyst, you have to have been a good BI analyst also. Because even understanding of business intelligence is that important to be a data analyst or to be a good data analyst, right? So if you want to be a good data analyst or a BI analyst, you're at the right place. We would be discussing what does this data analyst means, what does this BI analyst means, and how do you approach this role? How do you understand this role? To get started with, a very warm welcome and good morning. Welcome to KSR Datavizon. So I'll give you a brief about myself first. Myself, Ritesh. I have 7 years of experience. I mean, you can say 7+ years of experience all into this industry. I've been working with Microsoft. I was associated with Microsoft as an FT, but yeah, I mean, somewhere I've been associated with Microsoft from the Indian MNCs also. I'm a B computer graduate. So I have expertise in the data engineering, data analysis, and data development. So I've touched all the data related roles. I'm a certified data analyst now, Azure data analyst specifically, because I'm all into the Microsoft domain, expertise into Microsoft domain. Now, I have expertise in retail, healthcare, banking, all the cloud business domains. Now, the very big question is, few people might also have, let's focus on this line. If I'm working for Microsoft, right? I'm working for Microsoft. Now, what does this Microsoft do? Microsoft has their own products, right? They have Windows, they have Power BI. There are many products which are available in market, which are all related to Microsoft. Now, how healthcare is related to Microsoft? How banking is related to Microsoft? Accepted. Microsoft is a retail company. It tries to sell a product, right? But how healthcare is related to Microsoft? How banking is related to Microsoft? See, for every company, for every business, they have their own internal banking service, their own financial, may not be end-to-end banking, but it would be more a kind of financial service. So if you take a consideration of any specific business, if it's a product business, Microsoft, it is a product company. So they have their own internal healthcare system, they have their own internal banking or financial system. So I have touch based all these domains inside Microsoft. That's the reason I have expertise in retail, healthcare, and banking. Moreover, it was end-to-end cloud business too. So that is my complete expertise. I've been associated with KSR since last 3 years. I've been training multiple new domain joinees or maybe upskill them. May not be only with respect to KSR. I've been associated with Microsoft internal trainings also. I mean, I usually train people, right? So this is my expertise. Now, just to get started with, what would be the agenda? Agenda is why only choose data analyst role. That too, we would be focusing more with cloud expertise. Now, the big question is, if you were, I'll go back 5 years. Or maybe I'll go back 6 years. Now it's 2025. If I go back 6 years, 2019, or prior to 2019. Now it might be 2018, 17, 16. If you would have ever considered a data analyst role minus 6 years back or minus 7 years back, it would have been only SQL as well as a reporting tool. Now SQL is must plus any reporting tool. Now you might consider Power BI, you might consider any other reporting tool. If you would only know these two conditions, it is very easy to get a job back in 2019 or prior to that. Now, if along with this, there is one addition, which is nothing but your cloud. If you know cloud, it is an added benefit, even if you're a data analyst or it might be any data related tool. I'm only not talking about analyst. Maybe if you consider data engineering, if you consider data scientist, any one cloud. I'm not only emphasizing on Azure. If you know AWS, if you know GCP also, almost all the cloud services behave almost similar. They have that same pitch. Okay, the UI is different. Maybe some services, the names are different, but they have the same way of understanding, same way of working. So if you are in 2025 now, along with reporting, along with SQL, a cloud is must. So we would be learning data analyst along with cloud, because cloud is most important part. Almost everything which you see, everything which you use it, might be your mobile apps, might be your day-to-day, any applications, everything is based out of cloud. Now you have, I mean, you're watching this video, you're watching this recording, the live session, even this is on cloud because you have connected via Zoom. All this recording would be available post some minutes of this session, of the end of the session. So you would be going through the recording again. So everything is on cloud. You're directly connected, right? You're connected from some other location. I'm at different location. So everything is on cloud now. So learning cloud is must in 2025. Without cloud expertise, without cloud in your resume, it is of no use if you enter this market. So that's the reason we would be focusing more data analyst with respect to cloud expertise. What are the current market trends and opportunities? We would also discuss that. What all key skills are required to become a Power BI and Azure data analyst? Now, anyways, I have directly mentioned the skills itself, Power BI and Azure. But along with Power BI and Azure, what all services we would be learning, that all services we would be discussing. What is the future? Now, if you want to learn any specific, um, might be an expertise in data analyst, if you want to learn this, what is the future of it? We need to understand, right? Without future, if you're trying to learn some important course or it might be as important subject, it is of no use if there is no future prospect. So we would also discuss what is the future prospect of a data analyst with Power BI as a lead. So if you want to enter this market with Power BI and Azure, what is the future trend, what is the future market. So all that we would be discussing in today's session. Now, anyways, we discussed about cricket now. Let's emphasize more on it. Let's understand with an example. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are, uh, daily or maybe you're continuously watching Champions Trophy. Let's take an example. See, yesterday's match was a different match. It was complete 50 overs match accepted. But if you have seen the Champions Trophy, if you have observed it, there are total three matches which were almost, these three matches didn't happen, out of which two matches were didn't even started just because of rain, right? And one of the match, yes, it did start, but in between rain interrupted, and it has to be, the point was shared between both the teams. Now, if you have really observed it, anyone has an idea about this method, DLS method? Have you ever heard? Cricket fans, DLS method.
Yes, yes, we heard.
What does this mean?
Duckworth Lace.
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically the support rules
So,
and yeah, you can.
mhm. So why DLS is not being used in the Champions Trophy? Is it the case that DLS is not used? If the rain comes into picture, the DLS comes into picture. DLS, to simplify it, DLS is a method. It's a method developed by certain people, Duckworth, Lewis, and Stern. So, just to give you an idea, it was introduced in 1997 and it was adapted by ICC in 1999.
వచ్చేసారా అన్న
Mhm.
Can you
రారండి
please go on
మీకు
mute? Just a moment.
ఇవాళ లేట్ గా లేచారు
Okay. Now, just to give you an idea, it started with, it was introduced in 97. It was used in 1999. Now, the big question is why this DLS method is not used in Champions Trophy. Two matches were totally washed out due to rain. One match, yes, one innings went well. Now, let's take an example of this one match. It was Afghanistan versus Australia, right? So, it was my wish that Afghanistan would have won against Australia because back in World Cup, even the match which should have been won by Afghanistan, the team went down and Australia won it. Now, if you take an example of the same match where Afghanistan had a very good target, they've kept a good target, they've given a good target to Australia. After 12 overs were bowled out, the rain interrupted and the match was totally abandoned. One point was shared between both the teams. Why not DLS method was introduced here? Any idea, any guesses why not DLS method was introduced?
It's
As per my
outdated.
There is
understanding,
criteria for 20 overs to be played by the
Very
uh,
good.
as per my understanding, I think it's a bit complicated and not able to understand. Each and every person cannot understand this thing. So that's why I think.
See, if you consider from 1999 World Cup, this method was used.
It's outdated now.
It's not outdated. To be more precise, if you want to get into this subject, as I've said, if you are a data analyst, you need to first understand the domain. Now, the domain here is, I've got some answers that 20 overs has to be minimum bowled. So, yes, Afghanistan has completed their complete 50 overs quota and they have given a target to Australia. But Australia only were able to play 12 overs of game. The ideal rule for Duckworth Lewis in ODI is minimum 20 overs has to be bowled in both the teams. Even if you consider the rain interrupted at the start itself, and if you think the matches, 2020 over match is able to be, they can manage the 2020 over match. Both the teams has to minimum play 20 overs. Then this DLS method comes into picture. So to give you a more idea about, this is all about data. Because if you're considering 20 overs, you have to consider how many wickets are in hand, how many runs you have scored, how many overs were bowled. So all this information you have to gather, you have to put down all these points, And then you have to come up to a conclusion that within this overs, this team has to get these many number of runs with these many number of wickets in hand at this run rate. With all this consideration, a final target would be given. Now, if you consider the same match, Afghanistan was versus Australia, 12 overs, the very first condition for the ODI match where the DLS will come into picture is at least 20 overs should be bowled. So if none of the team, okay, accepted Afghanistan's innings was all good, but Australia didn't completed that 20 overs quota in the very first instance itself, in the DLS method instance itself, that less than 20 overs, then DLS will not be activated or it will not be used. Now, if you take the example of the other two matches, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Australia, South Africa, even these two matches were totally abandoned. I mean, not even a single ball was bowled. Why? Because the stadium was not good enough to host that match, even 20 overs. 40 overs should have been bowled, right? To get the final result. Even within this 20 overs, both sides, 20 plus 20, the stadium was not fit enough. So that's the reason DLS never been used in this Champions Trophy, in the current Champions Trophy. Ideally, the DLS is there. It is not outdated. It is still used. ICC is still referring this. But there are certain reasons, there are certain rules and regulations. So in order to follow that rules and regulations, we have to first understand the DLS method. Right? So what is this DLS method? First thing is, for an ODI, minimum 20 overs has to be bowled. And if you consider about T20, minimum 5 overs has to be bowled. Minimum 5 overs. Why? Because if you're considering both the cricket analysis, if for an ODI, out of 50 overs, if 20 overs are bowled, a team can completely bat all 10 batters. In case of DLS, there is no restriction on number of wickets. All 10 players can have that DLS analysis. I mean, all 10 players can play all 5 overs or all 20 overs. So if you're considering all this information, you need to also consider how many number of overs or what is the run rate. Run rate is what the important factor is. First thing is overs, 20 overs, 5 overs. This is all depends on your data. If you're considering any data, if you're considering any analysis first, you have to do some data. You have to get some data, grasp some data and understand the background of it. So what the data is, minimum 20 overs. What is the run rate? Now, after run rate, what all comes into picture? Even they consider wickets. If more number of wickets are gone, and even if your run rate is good, they would first assume that run rate is first priority, but the second priority is number of wickets. Right? So, and after run rate, wickets, after over run rate and wickets, what they will consider, whether the team is fit to be used in this DLS analysis or not. So for any analysis of data, for any understanding of data, for any understanding of information to get the final result, you need to first go back and check some history. Some information you have to gather. Now, what that information is nothing but your data. And if you want to gather and if you want to perform some analysis on it, that is nothing but your data analysis. Now, I mean, the latest trend is cricket. That's the reason I've taken an example. You consider any information. For all this information, if you understand the business, if you understand the information behind the business and get some data and do some analysis, that is what the data analysis is. Now, the big picture for this DLS is, even though this DLS comes into picture, how the BCCI or how the ICC will come up to the final conclusion with this DLS formula is, they use a normal reporting. They have a report performed at their end. What does this report do? Report will give you all the important KPIs. All the important KPIs are handled. So this is what the most important part is. As a data analyst, you have to gather the information. You have to perform some analysis on it. You have to perform some data massaging on it, and then create a report which will be helpful to give some data-driven decisions. This is just a mere example. You consider any business domain, all the business domain follows same process. That is where the data analyst role comes into picture. And data analyst is everywhere, not only cricket, not only you consider any application, you consider any region, any domain, wherever you go, data analyst is there. Analysis of data is important, and to analyze that data to give you the final results, data analyst role is the one who will perform all this analysis, all this task. So this is just an example. Now, to get started with, as a data analyst, you might have understood, you might have got a small picture, but to get started with, what is the first thing data analyst will do? Any day-to-day life example which you want to give? What is the first thing? Let's forget about the example first. What data analyst has to do first? He has to first understand the data, right? Now, first, after understanding the data, whether the data is clean or whether the data is clear or not, that is what the first thing is. I mean, understand data, and then whether the data is clean or not. So anyone, can you give me an example of day-to-day life where the data is more segregated? That means where the data is more arranged and it is very well clean. In that case, data analyst will be able to perform that. Any day-to-day life example? Say I'll start with, if you visit a medical store, if you want to purchase any tablet, now let's assume you want to purchase a tablet which is of Sun Pharma. I'm just taking an example, right? Your tablet is Sun Pharma and maybe some ABC, XYZ or ABC tablet is there. So if you have given the name to this medical store, what the first thing that medical store guy will do? He will visit and he'll go back. He'll try to check what is the alphabetical order of the tablet name. So if it starts with A, he'll first visit a rack where A is there. And after A, he will first, I mean, if you have visited a big medical store or a stores which are very big in size, the medical stores or the tablet stores, where the information is kept in alphabetical order, first thing. Next thing is the information is sorted as per the pharma company. Now, first thing you'll visit the place or rack where all the medicines are kept with starting name A. Then he will search for Sun Pharma medicines, and then maybe he'll be able to find this ABC tablet in that specific rack or a box. Now, what is this? This is also a data analysis. You might feel it's very silly, but it is also data analysis because all your data is kept segregated, all your data is kept in a clean manner. The very first thing as a data analyst you have to understand is whether your data is clean or whether your data is not clean. If it is not clean, how do you make sure that the data is very clean? How do you make sure you can clean that data, understand the data, and then do the further data analysis? That is the most important task of a data analyst. First, you have to start with cleaning the data. So this is just an example, a day-to-day life example. Can you give me any other example? I mean, it's your day-to-day life example only. I'll give you multiple examples, but I've started with medical. I've started with a medical store. Can you give me any other example? Think on it.
If you go to some supermarkets, you'll get
Very
different
good.
items.
Supermarket is one of the best example again. So if you want to visit any supermarket, well, let's take an example of DMart. You're visiting DMart, right? You're visiting any superstore. It might be Big Bazaar, it might be DMart. Now there is no Big Bazaar, but I mean, somewhere related to any supermarket. If you want to purchase certain item, you don't even roam all the supermarket, right? Where is that item kept? If that item is maybe a food item, so you usually visit that food related racks or food related store. I mean, that specific area. So you want to purchase food related aspects. You want to purchase anything related to clothing. So you visit that clothing related area, right? You directly visit there. Rather than wasting time, you directly visit there. So any day-to-day life example, if you take into consideration, if the data is clean, if the data is very well managed, only in that case, a data analyst will be able to first understand it and give some analysis, perform some analysis on it. So the very important task of a data analyst is to understand and get the data in a cleaned manner. So the examples which I've given, this is your medical, this is all your superstore. You visit any superstore, you visit any might be even if you visit the local kirana store also. If you want to purchase some item, you have given the name of that item. That person will go back and check that item directly because he knows that where that item is kept, how clean that store is, and he'll be able to find that item very easy. That specific product very easily. So as a data analyst, it is very important to first understand and then clean the data. That is the most important part, right? So now the big question is, if you consider Power BI, most of the people know Power BI, but they'll only know drag and drop. That is not only Power BI. First, understanding the data, what we are working on it, and then cleaning the data. After then, the reporting comes into picture. So that is the role of a data analyst. That's the day-to-day life of any data analyst is. Now, if you are not even a data analyst, you want to learn something, you want to get some information also, in that case also, even your data analyst will come into picture, your analysis will come into picture. So we have seen the real-time examples, right? So this is how the data analyst will work. Now to continue further, let's take an example. So if you take this example, this is just a table information. This is an Excel table information. Now, if you want to read some information, yes, it is very easy to read, but now if you want to search some information, maybe I want to search for a particular player, I have to go back and check the batsman name here, which team he belongs to, and then I have to search whether that batsman name is present. Now, this is just a pictorial representation. It might be a very large table. There might be a scroller available. You see the records are continued. There are multiple records below also. So if you have given this information and you are able to, you have given a task that I want to fetch this information. First thing you will do, you will go to this arrow. This is a drop down. Here you will try to filter something. Filter is what? You are cleaning your data, and then you are filtering what is your final output. Now, if this same report, if the same table is converted into a different format, that will have a different picture. Right? So let me give you an idea. This is the same format. There's just an example. There's just a report which we have created from our end. This is about T20 World Cup analysis. It's the older data, accepted. But that same data, if you try to visualize it this way, it is very difficult to understand. Now, if the same data is converted into different charts, different visuals, it is very easy to understand. So that is one of the biggest benefit of reporting. Reporting is nothing but final result. But prior to that, all the data analysis, all the understanding of data is important. So that is how a data analyst works. Data analyst is not only reporting or not only cleaning of data. It includes both cleaning, understanding, and then performing the end result, which is your reporting or your visuals. This is all the interactive dashboard which we have created. Now, this was created by one of our students only, one of our batch students only who was part of our previous batches, right? So we would be going through all this. We would be creating the similar kind of reports here, what we would be learning, post which, what we would be learning is we would be starting with SQL, we would be starting with Power BI. Then at the end, as I've said, for a data analyst, cloud is also important. So we will also go through Azure cloud aspects, right? So if you want to publish this report also, you have to publish it to the Power BI service. Power BI service is also a cloud. So wherever you go, cloud will come into picture, right? So the same table, I have converted it to the report. Report is more interactive because if a person tries to go to this table, he will find very difficult to clean that data. He'll find very difficult to understand what is this, what I want to analyze, what I want to get the final result. But if that same report of that same data is converted to a report or a dashboard, it is very easy. It is very interactive also, right? So the role of data analyst. Now, if you take an example, the very next slide, this is the US presidential election. Now, Even this report, it's very easy to understand which candidate got how many votes, what is the amplification, what is the impact score, how many number of votes he has got, the volume of votes. So all this information is kept in this report. Now, where is this report published? This report is published to the Power BI service. Power BI service is nothing but your cloud. So if you are publishing this report, anyone in this world can access this. That is one benefit of usage of cloud. How do you manage cloud? How do you manage your data in the cloud? That is what we would be also learning. Right? So this is all about data analyst. We have seen multiple examples. We have seen what is data cleaning, what data cleaning will help us to analyze, how cleaned data will be used for data analysis. All this we have seen with small examples, day-to-day life examples also. Now, moving further, what data analyst with Power BI stack has to do. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an image representation. So if you go to this image, now let's focus on this image. And let me ask a question. How many of you are able to understand what is this image or what is present in this image? Right? So what's present in this image? Anyone able to answer it? Maybe if you're able to understand. First thing is you have to first understand. As I've said, you have to understand the business. You have to understand the background of it. Then maybe you will be able to answer it.
So it starts with raw data to after processing and implementing some things, it finally come into some endpoint with the
Okay,
reports.
very good.
By that you can take some decision making to improve their business or something, whatever.
It's, no, you did understand. But if the same pictorial representation, if I give it a different manner, if I give it in a different way, see, if you consider both the images, this or this, 100%, not even 99, 100% of people will choose the second image. Why? Because the information is all cleaned, the information is all segregated, and it is in a, you start with data preparation first, then you use some ETL here in between, and then you use some warehouse to store your data. From this warehouse, you try to create a dashboard or report or something. End result, the reporting, and then it is used by business to take the decisions. But if you consider the same image, even this image is also giving you that same information. But why is it very difficult to understand this? The data is not clean here. You might feel the image is interactive, but the data is not clean. The information mentioned here, it is in very cleaned manner, and it is mentioned step by step. If you consider this, even the information here is mentioned step by step, but multiple things are combined together. The information is not clean. That is the reason. That is what a data analyst has to do. He can transpose, he can move this image, he can make this image into this format, because what you have here is all represented here. The same information is present in this image. But if you go to this image, it is very well cleaned, very well managed, and every step is clearly mentioned. What data analyst or a BI analyst has to do? He has to convert this raw data, he has to convert this structured or unstructured data. Now, we would be focusing more on the SQL related aspects. What is database? What is SQL? That we would be learning with, we would be starting with. We will use SQL as a source. We will use Excel sheets. We will use some CSV sheets also as a source for our reporting. We will use the ETL services. Yes, we would be going through what is ETL, how do you use this ETL in the cloud? So everything we would be going through. And then at the end, what is reporting, how a report is created. That is the primary role of a data analyst, right? So all this we would be learning end to end. Shovik, you can park your question. Maybe I'll be able to answer it in next 5 minutes. Right. So as a data analyst, even now I know that the same image. This is the image. Now the big question is, how did I converted this image to this? I have given this image. I've made sure that I want to convert this image into this format. So this image is an image generated by ChatGPT. Right, it uses some DAL3 image recognition technique. This is their internal software, internal AI, which it uses, the chat GPT. It is NLP or natural language processing, or AI, which it uses. Now, the big question is, if I have given this image to a chat GPT, which uses the AI, artificial intelligence, and it creates this image, are we also going to learn artificial intelligence with respect to Power BI? Yes, definitely. Along with Power BI, we would be also learning what is the role of artificial intelligence, because every organization is focusing on the use of AI in current market. It might be data analyst, it might be data engineer, or it might be a data scientist, or any role. Even if you consider front-end developers or back-end developers, they were also forced to learn Gen AI. Yes, we would be learning what is the use of artificial intelligence with respect to Power BI. It is not totally Gen AI, but what is the use of AI in Power BI? How we can improve our efficiency? We would be learning all this in our course. Now, the big question is, if this image is being converted to this format, you can see how difficult it is to understand with respect to this image. It is very easy to understand in this image, but in this image, it is very difficult. Okay, this looks very interactive. This looks very colorful, accepted. But sometimes AI will help you to reduce your work, but it will never give you the final end results. It is the human brain, which is the most powerful part. You have to first give some human interference. Only then the final result would be accurate. You feel this image is very interactive, yes, but it is very difficult to understand. If you are a very first time user, if you understand, yes, well and good. If you didn't, and 90% of the people will not be able to understand this image easily. But whereas this image is very difficult, it's very easy, straightforward. So AI will help you to process the data faster. It will help you to reduce your work, but it will never take any jobs. Keep one thing in mind. AI will only reduce your effort, but it will never take your job. The first thing is, as a data analyst, how do you use AI? That is what our primary aim is. We would be going through that AI part as well. Power BI comes with a concept called as Copilot. Copilot is nothing but artificial intelligence. How do you use this Copilot? How we can integrate this Copilot with our day-to-day life? Everything we would be going through along with our Power BI related aspects. Right? So role of a data analyst, from raw unstructured data, structured data, use of ETL, use of any storage mechanism, then to the Power BI, then to the reporting, is what the role of a data analyst or a BI analyst is. Now, if you take few examples, now these examples, let's focus on the first chart, this chart, the chart which I've highlighted. So this chart is giving you the amount of money spent on analysis of data. Market volume in billions for the US dollars, how much amount is spent on the data, understanding of data by day-to-day life or day-to-day scenarios. In 2025, 170, this is all estimate, $175 billion have been spent by, or maybe would be spent by current world or current year, this current year, to understand the data, to process the data. So wherever there is a data analyst will come into picture. It might be data analyst, it might be data engineer also, or it might be data scientist. But our primary aim is to learn data analyst to analyze that data. So the future scope of data is safe. If you're learning data analysis, maybe for next 8 to 10 years, you are in the market. You will never be outdated. The only thing is you have to adapt the new changes. Just because the Power BI is easy to understand, yes, Power BI is very easy. But with the introduction of AI, how the Power BI will have an impact, whether is it a direct impact, whether it's an indirect impact, everything we would be going to discuss. Now let's focus on the second image. Now the big question is, see, data analyst, machine engineer, machine learning engineer, all these roles are related to data. Fastest growing tech related roles, whichever role you consider in current market, everything is related to data. And if you take an example, see, data analyst and business intelligence analyst is one and the same. It is one and the same. As I've said, if you want to understand the data, first understand the business, understand the domain, only then you would be able to process that information and give you the final results. Maybe you want to give the results or you want to share that results with some other people. So whichever role you are considering, all that roles in current market are related to data, related to business or related to analysis, which is nothing about Power BI, which is nothing about analysis, which is nothing about reporting, which is nothing about cloud. So wherever you go, data is there. Wherever you go, cloud is there. So these are the current market, or maybe you can assume that your role is safe, whatever you would be learning. For next 8 to 10 years, you are always in the market. The only thing is you have to adapt the new changes. Even though you are a data analyst, you have to adapt to whatever latest updates are coming into picture. Power BI was a very, very basic tool back in 2017 when I've started my career. But now this is one of the most powerful tool because Power BI is evolving a lot. Every month they come up with updates. So similarly, with whatever updates the Power BI is coming, you have to update yourself. That is the primary aim of a data analyst is whatever tech stack you're learning, you also have to update. So the course which we would be going through, our course is also updated on every quarterly basis. So whatever is new into this market, we adapt that. We try to make sure that new analysis or new trend is included in our course. So that is what I've said. If we want to learn data analysis, we would be also including AI in it. So need not worry how AI will be beneficial. Yes, we would be covering everything in our course. Now, along with the market, along with the future, the very big question is, are we learning the right tools? Just an example, these two charts will give you a small example. We would be learning Microsoft, which is nothing but your Azure. This is the Azure chart, Azure line chart. Now, if you see, Azure had a market share of somewhere around 12% in 2017, and AWS had somewhere around 34. You can say 33, 34. Now, still AWS is around wrangling around 33, 34%. But if you see the market share from Azure, 12%, it increased somewhere to 23%. Yes, there is a gap of 10% between Azure and AWS, but Azure is always in the upward trend. Okay, even GCP is an upward trend, but GCP is very slowly increasing. It has only 10 to 11% of market share, which is a drastic change. 11 to 23, it's almost 12%. 23 to 32, 33%, it's 8 or 9%. Maybe in next few years, Azure would be the market leader. Now, this is as per 2022. Now, if you consider 2024, the difference is, again, it has reduced. Amazon is somewhere around 30% only, and Microsoft Azure is somewhere around 24 to 25%. So there is a gap of only 5%. So are we learning the right cloud? Yes, you are learning the right cloud. We would be learning Microsoft Azure. Why Microsoft Azure? I've given you an idea. It's one of the fastest evolving cloud. Along with that, the next best example is, are we learning the right reporting tool? Now, many people might know this chart. You might have seen it. You might have gone back, and many organizations, many companies also share this, that why Microsoft Power BI is the market leader, because there's a company called as Gartner. What they do, they'll go back and give you certain analysis on yearly basis. They'll do some analysis. The current market reporting tools, Tableau is a product of Salesforce. That's the reason it is called as Salesforce Tableau. If you see, the quadrant here is the leaders quadrant. Inside this leaders quadrant, Microsoft is leading. That means it is above, over and above all the tools which are present in the market. So are we learning the right tool? Yes. Now, just because Microsoft is the Power BI is a product of Microsoft, that's the reason we end up using the same Microsoft cloud, which is Azure. Why? Because both are of same company. Both have multiple connections. You can connect any Azure services directly with Power BI. That is one of the biggest advantage. Now the big question is, can we connect to AWS? In order to connect AWS services, you need some external connectors. Whereas as compared to Azure, There is no external connector required. You can directly connect any Azure services directly with Microsoft Power BI because both are product of Microsoft. So that is one benefit. We would be learning right tool. You are learning right tool. You are learning right cloud as well. Right. So these two charts are just an example that are we on right track? Yes, you're on right track. Now, the last slide is what we would be learning in this course. We would be starting with SQL. This course is of 4 months. We would be starting with SQL, in depth of SQL. As Mahesh said at the start, we would be starting with very basics and we would be covering all in depth of SQL. Basics to advanced, complete SQL. From the Power BI point of view, whatever is required, we would be covering everything in detail. We would be also covering end-to-end Power BI, including Microsoft Fabric. Now, what is Fabric? The very next slide is about Fabric. We'll also discuss on that. Along with Power BI, we would also go through ETL because ETL is must. Azure Data Factory is a product of cloud. It is a product of Azure. So we would be learning Azure Data Factory end to end. Along with this, there are some dependent services which we need to learn. Not only ADF is important, but along with ADF, it comes with ADLS, it comes with Key Vault. It also uses Azure Active Directory, which is nothing but your Entra ID. There are few services. These are all these services. Now, the big question is, if you're not able to understand this, yes, we would be going through it. Let's not focus what the Entra ID is, like what the AAD is. These are all the internal services related to cloud, which can be used along with Azure Data Factory. And Azure Data Factory is a ETL tool. You can log in from any part of the world because it's a cloud-based ETL tool. So we would be learning all these services in depth. Now, the last line will give you a basic idea. Even though it's a data analyst course, we would be learning basics of Databricks, how Databricks can be used from a data analyst point of perspective. What is Synapse? It is also a service present in Azure. How it can be used from the data analyst point of perspective. And we would be learning logic apps. Somewhere it is also similar to Power. Now there is a component called as Power Automate. One who are aware about Power Platform related courses, Power Automate and Logic Apps are similar. These are two services which can be used by data analyst for automation. In order to perform some automation, in order to perform some email alerts, you can use these tools. So we would be learning basics of Databricks. Now the big question is, someone had a question that are we going to learn PySpark? No. Our course doesn't include PySpark. Our course includes what is Databricks, how do you assume or how do you adapt this Databricks from a data analyst tool. So that discussion, that analysis, that knowledge I would be able to share at the end once we start with Azure. Now, it's a 4 months course. We would be starting with SQL, which is 1 month. Post 1 month, there would be 2 months of Power BI. So 2 plus 1, 3 months. And at the end, last 1 month would be your Azure. Now, Power BI includes Fabric. Azure also includes Fabric. Fabric would be covered in 2 aspects, one with Power BI, one with Azure. So, I mean, Fabric is somewhere similar to Power BI also. It's somewhere similar to Azure also. So we would be covering Azure in both the conditions, both the terms, or both the Power BI sessions also, and in the Azure sessions as well. So 1 month of SQL, 2 months of Power BI, and 1 month of Azure or 1 month of cloud. So a total 4 months course. So if you have started with March, April, May, June. End of June or by first week of July, we should complete this end-to-end course. That is what the primary aim is. So this is what we would be learning in detail, the data analytics with Power BI course. Now, the question is, along with this, are we going to discuss any other topics? See, if you are into KSR, we are not only discussing technical stack, but apart from technical stack, we would be discussing non-tech stack as well, which is nothing but your domain knowledge, which is nothing but your project management. What is agile way of working? How agile projects work? How do you build resumes? What interview preparation you have to follow? All this we would be learning along with our technical stack. So mostly our sessions would be from Monday to Friday, no weekend sessions. But whatever non-tech sessions are there, these are all weekend sessions. Not every weekend we try to take, but in few weekends, maybe I'll take domain knowledge sessions, or in between normal sessions only, I'll try to take domain knowledge. Few weekends, I'll try to take project management, what is agile way of working. We have a dedicated team. If you build your basic resume and if you share that resume with the KSR team, we will build that resume. We'll make sure that resume is as per market standard. We'll personally connect with you what needs to be mentioned. Our team will develop your resume. Along with that, multiple interview preparation sessions would also be conducted, or maybe you would be given multiple questions related to interviews, current interviews, day-to-day interviews which are happening in current market. So all that would be shared with you. This is what we promise along with our technical course. Right now, I'll only take 5 more minutes. What is Microsoft Fabric? In simple terms, many might know what is Fabric. You might have heard, and you might have got an idea. It was introduced in 2023, almost 2 years back. Not exactly 2 years, but somewhere around 2 years back. It was introduced in 2023. Microsoft Fabric is a product which combines Power BI with some Azure cloud services, which a data analyst can use on day-to-day basis. So it includes Data Factory. Data Factory is also present in cloud, which is Azure. It includes Synapse. Synapse is also present. We have seen this. You can see I've mentioned Synapse here. So we would be learning basics of Synapse. Yes. Synapse data science, it's more about data science. Whatever is related to data analyst, this is the data analyst. So we would be learning this. Real-time intelligence, there are many other services which are present in Fabric. So Fabric is nothing but a umbrella. It's just an umbrella. Under that umbrella, everything they have pushed. So if you want to be a good Power BI developer, you have to have an understanding of Fabric. Your own Power BI service is also a product of Fabric now. I mean, your own Power BI service, whatever you publish your report, once the report is created, if you want to share that report has to be published, right? So where it is published in the Fabric. And what is Fabric? Fabric is a cloud-based service. Even Fabric is part and parcel of cloud. So whatever you learn today, everything is present in cloud. That's the reason we are covering cloud also. Fabric is similar to Azure, yes, and Fabric is also part of Azure. What you do in Fabric, it is all present in Azure. So we would be starting with Azure and we would be integrating how Fabric can be used from a data analyst point of view. That is our primary aim, right? So this was all about today's session. Now, the last slide will give you an idea who can take up this course. See, first go through this, any graduate, not only engineering. I'm not only focusing on engineering. If you're from a non-tech stack also, you don't know anything related to SQL, you don't know anything related to Power BI, we would be starting as if you don't know anything from the very basics, including what is SQL, what is S, what is Q, what is L, how SQL works, what is database, everything we would be going to cover from basics. Same goes with Power BI. What is exactly Power BI? How is it developed? How we can perform some analysis from depth, from scratch, we would be learning. So anyone who is from non-tech stack, anyone who is not related to this engineering stack or related to data stack, whomsoever wants to take up this course is just developed in such a way that anyone would be able to understand. And with the end of this course, you yourself can expose that as if you have 3+ years of experience. Now, why I say 3+ years? If a person is having 3 to 5 years of experience, he can showcase himself as a 3+ years of experience, maybe 3.5 or 4. And the person who has 10 years of experience, if you have valid 10 years of experience, we make sure that your resume is prepared in such a way after completion of this course, as if you worked as a Power BI developer for last 6 to 7 years. You yourself can showcase even 6 to 7 years also, but you should have a valid previous experience. But ideally, on an average, you can showcase yourself as a 3+ years of experience guy with whatever we would be covering with this course: SQL, Power BI, Azure, along with Microsoft Fabric. Now, I'll take a pause. I'm all open for questions.
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir. Sir, SAP HANA is used for data analytics. As a beginner level data experience. Should I learn SAP HANA?
No. SAP HANA is just a data source to Power BI. Your data might be present in SAP. Now, SAP is nothing but your ERP, Enterprise Resource Management Tool, right? Or supply chain management tool. So whatever information is present in SAP that you want to analyze in Power BI, you want to prepare some report, you want to give some KPIs, then you can connect SAP HANA to Power BI. That's the only thing. It is not required to learn end-to-end SAP, nothing like that. From a data point of view, SQL is must. That's the only which is compulsory.
Okay. But sir, I have passed out 2024 in August, MCA graduate, but I am looking for a job as a freshers. But is it possible because 6 months gap I take the any course? Is it possible?
Okay. Now the question is, see, we would be covering. I mean, even if you're a fresher, we whatever we would be covering, we also cover some projects in it, right? So 2 to 3 projects. So if you perform, if you have a good exposure in these projects, you can showcase that I have worked on so and so projects. The KSR team will help your resume to build your resume that, yeah, you have created some resumes, you have created some portfolios, you can showcase. Yes, for a fresher, it is a bit difficult to enter this field as compared to an experienced guy. But we will make sure that, yeah, you have a good exposure, but you yourself have to put your efforts also. Not only one way of effort is required, maybe from yourself, an effort is required. Yes, in our previous sessions, we have seen many freshers who have got a job. It is slightly difficult as compared to an experienced guy, but yeah, I mean, if you go through this course, if you put your heart for next 3-4 months, definitely it would be beneficial.
Okay. But sir, if any opportunities came like Excel opportunity like MIS executive, should I join these opportunities or not?
MIS roles are reduced. Good question you have asked. See, what is Power BI? Power BI is a product of Microsoft. Excel is also a product of Microsoft. Power BI is developed on top of Excel. So almost all the formulas which are present in Excel, all that formulas are also present in Power BI. You have DAX in Excel, that same DAX we would be learning in Power BI. Your statistics, your formulas. So what you learn in Excel also, there is a component called as Power Query. That same Power Query component is also present in Power BI. So what you learn in Excel, Power BI is advanced version of Excel. It's more advanced. In Excel, there are limited charts. You can perform some limited analysis. Power BI is more advanced as compared to Excel.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any questions?
Hi, sir.
Hey,
So,
Sagar,
does it cover all Power full stack concepts or Power full stack tools?
see, we would be only covering Power BI. So you're asking about Power Automate, Power Apps. That is what you're asking for.
Correct.
That is a different course. In that case, see, that course is also part of KSR. But the thing is, if you want to learn Power Automate, Power Apps, in that case, their Power Apps, Power Automate, the Power Pages or Power Virtual Agents, in depth would be covered. Power BI is not in depth covered in that course. Now, if you want to learn Power BI with ETL, then this course is developed for that people. Here, we're not going to cover Power Apps or Power Automate. Yes, some basics of Power Automate we will be covering at the end. How is it used? How can we automate our process? That is what I would be covering, but not end to end.
Okay. So how about business analysis?
Yeah. Business analysis is part of it. I mean, data, it means you want to understand the domain, you have to understand the business. So that we would be covering. BI and data, both are part of this course.
Okay, BI and business analysis as well. Like, I mean, is it the same again? Like,
Yep.
just
See, if you want to understand any data, as I've said, I've mentioned here, right? Domain knowledge. We would be sharing some domain knowledge also. How retail domain works, how healthcare domain works, how banking domain works. So along with this, there are many other cloud related domains also there. So how these domains works, how this business works, that is what we would be covering. Yes, it is also part of this course.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yep. Yep, Balakrishna, go ahead.
What type of license you are going to provide for Power BI?
Okay. Now
Free will
from
extend
the
3 days, right?
From the Power BI point of view, there are three different licenses. One is Pro, one is Premium per user, and one is Premium capacity. So Premium capacity will neglect this. Pro is the least license, which is 10. Now, I'm not sure if you go back and check the license rates, when Power BI was introduced in 2015 until 2025, last 10 years, the same rates or same charges were kept for Pro license or Premium license. Pro used to charge $10 per user per month. Premium per user used to charge $20 per user per month. Now, starting from July 2025, now it has to start July 2025, the charges have been slightly increased after a decade. Pro, it would charge you $14 post July, and premium per user will charge you $24. So we would be giving you premium per user license. Along with that, you will get 60 days of Fabric trial, which is extendable. There is a chance that you can extend it for next 60 days. So we would not be directly activating Fabric from the very day one. You can activate your premium per user. Premium per user would be given for 3 months, somewhere around 60 days or more than 60 days. You can still extend it. But yeah, you would be given a premium per user license along with KSR domain email IDs, where you can use your Microsoft Teams and Outlook also to maybe for your chat or maybe to create a group. So all that would be shared from our.
Yeah. My second question is from Power BI standpoint, how deep you are covering
Okay.
means
Now from the
advanced level.
okay. So if you visit this
Hello, I had one query. What is
just a
EA
moment, just
mean?
a moment, just a moment.
Oh.
I'll be answering his question. See,
Oh.
if you want to enroll for this course, you have to visit this website, right? So first thing is, I'll recommend you to visit our website. Give me a moment. I'll share my screen. Just a moment. The first thing is, I recommend you to visit our website, right? So once you visit our website, now why am I saying this is what we would be going to cover in this course, everything would be shared in a browser. So you can download that brochure, right? So you can click on sign in. So it will open a different page.
Okay. I will check it, Akash.
So have you, I'll share it anyways.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I have a question. So, for this batch, is it the same time or do we have any other timings? Because I'm a working employee.
For this batch, it's 8 to
8 to?
9:30 a.m. in the morning. 8 to
Okay,
9:30.
8 to 9:30, is it?
Yeah. Usually
Okay.
we cover 1 hour or 75 minutes. Last 15 minutes are buffer for any questions, or maybe you have any day-to-day discussions we have. So maybe we can do next 15 minutes or last 15 minutes of discussion. That's it. But usually 70 minutes or 75 minutes is what I target on daily basis.
Okay. Okay. So this is the demo presentation
Yeah,
or
this
class, or
was
like this is the first
No, this
class
is a demo. This is just a demo. From tomorrow, we would be jumping to SQL. So that would be more into technical. This was just a demo, how, what we would be going to cover, what is data analyst.
Oh, after
Now,
demo, do we have any other buffer time wherein like we can join some other
yeah,
timings or some
okay.
other batch?
First 5 sessions would be free. You take any course in KSR, first 5 sessions would be free. So tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have these sessions free. You can attend these sessions if you're satisfied with that. Now you have options. Morning batch, as I've said, I'm starting now. Evening batch is already started. There is an evening batch also going on, but there we already covered SQL. We almost covered 30% of Power BI. So we are in between Power BI. If you want to join evening batch, probably it will take next 2 months. Post 2 months, a new batch would be starting in evening. If you want to continue, maybe you can continue with the same batch, but it would be a morning batch now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
So, sir,
Just a
Hello.
moment. Yeah, Bharti, go ahead.
Yeah, I had one question. What is the UI means?
What is the
UI.
what is the UI name? Can you please repeat your question? I didn't understand. Maybe I
Actually, they mention like in Power BI charts in under bracket UI. U means
okay.
umbrella. I means
Okay, okay, okay,
UI.
okay. Got it. Hmm. The fabric, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, I mean, whatever services are present in Fabric, almost all the services are present in Azure. So if you start with Azure, the UI of Fabric and the UI of Azure is almost similar. But what I recommend is always start with Azure first, because Azure is way more easier to understand, and then you can end up using Fabric, because the UI of Fabric is slightly not that interactive. So you have to first understand the which service is used for what purpose, and then you can jump into the Fabric. So that's the reason I would always start with Azure first, and then I'll simultaneously jump with Fabric.
Okay, like UI means.
The user interface,
Oh, okay.
how you are interacting. You visit any website, if you're new to that website, it will take some time to adapt, right, how this website works. So if you're visiting Fabric for the very first time, it is a bit difficult to understand what every service is used for. And nowadays the Fabric icons are also different. This is the older picture. If you visit Fabric now, the UI is more complex. So I always start with Azure, and then I tend to jump to the Fabric. That's why that's how the process is easy to understand. I have got a good question, that is it helpful for any certifications, DP or PL? See, let me clarify one thing. Um, the course which I would be covering, it is suitable. It is suitable to give you certifications related to PL 300, which is Azure Data Analyst Associate, and DP 600 is for Fabric Associate. Microsoft Fabric Analytics Associate, yes, you can attempt with PL 300 first, and you can also target DP 600. You can give these two certifications. Along with this, if you also want to give some extra certification related to Azure, you can also target for AZ 900. So we would be covering Azure as if we have started with very basics, subscription, resources, everything we would be covering. So you can also attempt this AZ 900 certification as well. This course is developed in such a way that you can attempt all three certifications.
Oh.
Okay,
hello.
now, yep. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
I just
Pawan, you can go ahead.
I just want to confirm one thing. Actually, I'm having an experience of 6 years, and I'm working in internal tools. I'm not using any tools, but I am really well good at SQL because I have learned before, and I'm good at SQL. So I have researched what to do. Actually, in previous job, I have worked as a data analyst. I mean, I used to use the Excel and PowerPoint for the brand. I mean, for the banking setup. So I have the capability of understanding the data. Okay. So in order to upskill my career, I'm investigating on all the data related processes. I came to notice that it's better to go with data engineering than data analyst because we have experience of 6 years. And moreover, the course which we are saying right now is covering the SQL and Power BI, whereas in data engineering it's covering like SQL, Azure, Hadoop, big data. So I just want to confirm whether it's better to me to go with this or data engineering.
Okay. See, to simplify it for you, I'll ask you one question. Are you only targeting analysis or are you also targeting engineering? Because anyways, you worked in analysis, but maybe a different tool, maybe you worked with Excel.
Yeah.
So if you're targeting engineering, then I would also suggest that if you're not targeting Power BI, if you're not targeting report, you want to learn Python, you want to learn big data technologies, then data engineering is best fit. But if you're targeting for analysis and reporting, then this course is best. So to simplify it for you, if you're targeting high level, which is more a kind of Python end-to-end coding, data engineering is best fit. You can blindly go with that. But if you're only targeting advanced analytics, which is more a kind of data and related to business, then this course is best.
Okay. But I don't have any idea about Python and something. I don't have any idea about it. But is it source for me or not?
It would. See, anyways, you worked with SQL, then you can easily learn that. If you are good in understanding the concepts, but data engineering is pure end-to-end coding. There is no maybe drag and drop there. So
Okay.
a clear clarity, you have to learn with Python, you have to start with Python, you have to understand Spark, you have to understand some big data terminologies. Everything would be covered in depth also in data engineering as well. But as I've said, it's end-to-end, all more about statistics and all more about coding. So if you're interested there, then that is best fit for you. You want to learn advanced analytics with data and all this business, then this course is best fit. So you have to decide whether you want to jump. And as I've said, if you have 6 years of experience for this course for Power BI, the average package, which Mahesh also mentioned, it's somewhere around 20 to 25. So if you pass that bracket of 25, it all depends how you are adapting that change, how you are adapting the new technologies. So if you want a very good package, maybe 30 plus, 35 plus, then data engineering is more feasible for you.
Okay. Yeah, fine then. Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir,
so
sir, many tools are there, AI tools for data analytics, AI tools. So, which should I learn for as a beginner AI tools, data analytics?
every tool has its own behavior. For See, if you are using ChatGPT, you can use ChatGPT anywhere. But if you're working for any organization will never recommend you to use ChatGPT until and unless you're not sharing personal data, the organization data outside. With ChatGPT, if you share the organization data, it's a security breach. So keep one thing in mind. Whenever you are working for any organization, never share the organization data in any AI tools. If that AI tool is given by the organization, they have given the license to utilize it, then only you can share that data. So from the Power BI point of view, we would be learning Copilot, which is inbuilt with Power BI. So it will not share the data outside Power BI. So from Power BI point of view, we would be learning what is AI present in Power BI. We have Power Q&A, which is also an AI. It's a kind of visual or it's a kind of automation which is available in Power BI. So we would learn that and then we would jump to Copilot. So what is present in Power BI, we will be going through that. We can use ChatGPT. There is no harm in using it. The thing is, you need not share the data if you're working for any organization. That is one security breach you have to follow.
Okay, sir. One more question, sir. Last question. Sir, I didn't sign it Power BI. So how to sign it? But
If you have to have an email ID, the organization email ID. That is what we would be sharing. Once you enroll for this course, maybe once we start with Power BI, after 2 weeks of Power BI or 10 sessions of Power BI, we would be sharing that email ID to log into the Power BI. You can utilize Power BI service. You can utilize the other external charts with the help of Power BI desktop sign.
okay, sir. But sir, can I any effect for if I don't sign up in Power BI?
Yes, it will have an impact. If you're learning Power BI without signing, it is only visuals. If you want to share that report, you have to have a Power BI sign-in, which is Power BI service.
Oh, okay.
One more last question.
Mm-hmm. Go
Uh,
ahead.
does it include all coding or minimal coding we have, or completely
Okay.
no coding?
See, SQL, anyways, we have to have the basic SQL queries. That's the only coding which is present here. Moreover, if you want to learn Power BI, you have to have an understanding of DAX also. So DAX is all about formulas. It is nothing coding in that. I mean, if you go through DAX, DAX is more about understanding the formulas. So if you know how a formula, what is the speed? Speed formula is distance covered upon time taken. So somewhere similar formulas are present in DAX. We would be learning that for. Moreover, formulas are used. Coding, query writing is only present in SQL. Apart from that, zero coding in Power BI, except DAX, where we would be learning formulas, more a kind of formulas.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep, Nakul, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been working in EY almost. I've been working there as a data analyst, and it's been almost 7 years I've been working over there. So I'm a good in Power BI and SQL. But the thing is, I got something new in the course, which is basically the fabric, and the other one is a data factory. So that's why I joined this course. So there, I have a question from you that you mentioned here the 3 points like data analyst as I'm working, but here also you mentioned the data scientist and the data engineer. So in data engineer, you mentioned like the coding here, or more coding we have. So what is in the data scientist? Actually, I just want to know and the difference between both of them.
Okay, the difference,
Okay,
right? Yeah,
the difference,
someone has
right?
also.
Yeah, someone has also. Hello?
Nakul, I have muted you because the voice was echoing. But yeah, I'll answer your question. See, what is the difference between data analyst, data engineer, and data scientist? In simple terms, see, data analyst is what you have some data, you want to clean the data, you want to perform some analysis and give you, depending on the data, you can take some data-driven decisions. That is what the data analyst is. Data engineering is, I mean, from a data analyst point of view, where are you getting this data from? The data would be getting from certain sources, right? So if you take an example, maybe a retail system. Retail system is connected to certain websites. Now let's take an example of DMart itself. So if you want to perform analysis on DMart, how do you get the data from the DMart? From their DMart website or maybe DMart billing websites or billing. They have their own billing system, right? Billing softwares. So from that billing softwares, how many products were sold? What is the number of products were sold? So all that information is captured. That information is ideally captured by data engineer. From the sources, they capture that information. They dump it into some storages. From that storage, data analyst will take that information. If any further data cleaning is required, they try to clean the data because the data is very heavy. Data engineer will always get the data and dump it into certain locations. If there is some logic required, they'll write that logic. Big data. Big data is what, in case of data engineering, there is also big data, right? So more the number of data, that means it's a big data, very heavy volume of data, right? So if they process that data, they dump it into certain locations. From that locations, data analyst will take, if further any data cleaning or massaging is required, they clean it and they try to perform the reporting. That is what data analyst is. Data engineering is getting the data from multiple sources, dumping it into certain different sources so that it can be used by data analyst further. Now, what is data scientist? Data scientist, depending on the data which we are getting, they will create some algorithms. They will create some logics. With that logics, they will get some future predictions also. That in 2024, there was a very huge number of sales in the month of December or in the month of November, just because there was a holiday session, there was a Diwali in the month of November or October. So depending on that, they will do some prediction that in this year, this is what we can expect. So with the help of ML models, with the help of algorithms, they will predict some information which is used by business so that if business thinks that in current year we can get a profit of 1 crore because last year we got a profit of 80 lakhs. So that 1 crore target, whether they want to achieve or not, that can be performed from a data scientist point of view. So this is how data scientist, data engineering, and data analyst works. There is no data analyst without data engineering. There is no data engineering without data scientist. There is no data scientist without data analyst. So all three roles are somewhere interrelated. But as I've said, everyone has their own behavior, own way of working.
Okay, so in short, we can say that predict the future, that is the data scientist.
Yeah, predict the future, give some future target or analysis, that is more about data scientist.
And the data engineer, in short, we can say like
getting the data from multiple sources, managing that high volume of data, breaking that data into multiple chunks, storing it somewhere. So that is what the data engineering does.
What is the big data?
Now, see, as and when whatever is present in current world, everything is in terms of data. So if you consider, let's take an example of Twitter or let's take an example of Facebook. There are multiple accounts in Twitter or Facebook which are fake accounts, which are not at all used, bot accounts. So how these organizations will go ahead and check, even if the data is very high, how do you manage that high volume of data? With the help of big data technologies. Big data technologies is nothing but manage high volume of data without any interruption. That is what the big data is about. And in big data, I mean, Spark comes into picture, Hadoop comes into picture, Hive comes into picture. All your services are also present. Hadoop, Hive, Spark, everything is also present in cloud. So if you want to learn anything, all these big data terminologies and all cloud, I mean, cloud concepts also comes into picture. So more the number of data, more would be the software efficiency to perform the analysis. That's the reason it is called as big data. Perform analysis on a very large chunk of data, perform or get some large chunk of data and break into multiple pieces is what your big data.
Okay, when we having more data, that time it's handle the big data, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
hi. One last question, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have 3 years of experience into non-IT customer service. So I would like to know, after completing this course, how the placement works. I mean, will they consider my prior experience, or it will be considered as a fresher into Power BI?
Good. Now, okay, let me ask one more question. So you are into non-tech stack accepted. Do you have a valid PF account?
Yes, I do have a valid PF account.
If you have this condition corrected, that means PF account, and yes, you have a PF account, irrespective whatever previous experience you have, everything you can make sure that you can easily convert that into a Azure or Power BI experience.
Okay.
Your resume would be built in such a way that your previous experience would cover as if you are a Power BI developer. And everywhere there is a data, everywhere there is analysis. So you can showcase. See, only thing is you have to have a basic domain knowledge of that previous experience. Whatever stack you are, if you understand the domain, you can mention that I have created reports on so and so domain. This was my requirement. This is what we have done. This is what reports we have created. Yes, if you have PF account, you can showcase all your previous non-tech experience also into a technical experience.
Okay, yeah. And one more question. What would be the fee structure of this course?
Okay, now just because it's the first session, I haven't mentioned anything. See, still we have four more sessions. You can attend this, but to just give you an idea, the course is of 4 months. See, ideal fee structure is 27K if you make a one-time payment. If you make a one-time payment, it's 27K. And why 27K? I'll justify for it. We are giving you premium per user license, which is $20 per user per month. So for 2 months, it would be $40. So 40 into 80, 8 fours are 32. 3,200 rupees we are spending out of this 27K on your Power BI license. Now, if you're making a one-time payment, it's 27K. You can make 2 installments, which is 28K. If there is any change, KSR team will definitely help you. You can connect with our team. They would be the right person to give you more idea about the payments. And if you want to make 3 payments, it is 30K. 10, 10, 10, 10 for SQL, 10 for Power BI usual. That is what we assume. But yeah, when if you want to make 3 payments, it is 10, 10, 10. One time payment 27K, 2 payments 14, 14, which is 28.
Okay. One last question regarding the placements. Is it like it will be like a campus placement kind of thing, or else do we have searched the job from our end, like in Naukri or any
Okay.
other job portals?
See, job assistance would be definitely given. There are placement cells which are conducted on weekly basis, twice or thrice a week by our KSR. I mean, KSR is managed by Mahesh. So he usually conducts all the placement sessions. You have any questions, what is current market, how questions are asked, how interview preparations you have to manage. We also teach you, but along with that, every weekly you have 2 to 3 placement sessions. So there he will give you an idea, there he will guide you. Even your Naukri accounts are also managed. If you want to, if you want to create your Naukri account, how that account should look like, what needs to be updated, our team will definitely help. Assistance, 100% assistance would be given. You have to enter the market with your external services. Maybe like Naukri, you have to apply them. If you're not getting shortlisted, you can come back and ask us a question that, okay, somewhere I'm not getting shortlisted. What needs to be improved? Our team will definitely assist you.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question from Shravani, right? So I might have answered the same question now. If you have 3 years of experience in .NET is your pure tech domain. So if you want to enter this field of data analysis, all your previous experience can be considered as a Power BI. And .NET is a product of Microsoft. So you will find much similarities. Somewhere you also, if you learn .NET, you also understand SQL, it seems. I assume, because .NET developers also have an understanding of SQL. So for you, it would be very easy to adapt SQL. Yes, you can showcase all your previous experience into .NET. It's a pure technical experience you have. So there won't be any problem for you.
Ritesh, I have one question here.
Yeah, go ahead, Kamish.
Yeah, see, you just mentioned now if you have PF, then you can have those add those experiences like related to this. But if you are working as a consultant where there is no PF reduction as such,
so you're based out of
then
India or outside India?
Yeah, India.
Okay. See, now why this criteria I have kept is most of the organizations, if you want to enter any organization, they do go back and do the background check, background verification. So background verification, first thing they'll check whether you have a valid PF account or not. If you have a PF account, half of their verification is done, and they'll never go back and check whether you are working with that organization or not, because everything is mentioned in the government portal. Now, if you do not have a valid PF account, but you have a valid prior experience, even that works. Only thing is your company should be active as of now. If you go back and give the experience letter to the company which you are being hired now, or maybe in future, there they will go back and check with the previous organization whether this employee was employed with you or not. If they give you a positive feedback, there won't be any problem, even if you don't have a PF. But I would not recommend you to give some fake experience, which we
no,
also
it's not a fake experience. It is a 26 AS which has been deducted. TCS is deducted for me. I work as a consultant.
Okay, that's totally fine. TCS, if you're working for TCS, that means even if you don't have a
it's not for TCS. I'm saying the deduction is as TDS. Sorry, TDS is deducted.
TDS.
So 26 AS form which I have from almost past 3 years.
Yeah,
so
you can.
Then
there is no problem.
No problem, right? Yeah. And one more question is regarding this DAC, what you said. Is it a prerequisite or again there is some brushings done on that in this course?
Which DAC you're trying to say? Maybe I missed you.
No, DAX, you said one was...
Okay. Yeah. See, DAX, if you want to be a good Power BI developer, you need to know DAX. Because DAX is what the 25% of Power BI accumulates. 75% Power BI is totally coding free. 25% you have to use some formulas. It's not a coding, it's just a formulas. So how do you capture that data and create some end formula, end value to it, end single value, maybe a KPI value, a numerical value which is used for business. Not every time the values are aggregated, right? You have to use some formulas. So that is where a DAX is important. So We would be learning first what all functions are present in DAX, what is the behavior of that function, and where can you use it. So you will not, you'll never find it that much difficult if you're going through DAX.
No, this is a part of this course, right?
Yeah, it is a part of it. It is a part of it.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes, Ritesh.
Yeah,
So,
see.
yes, from KSR, do you provide any like mock interview sessions during the course?
Uh, Good. So we have a new product from the KSR. It's a AI product. So if you visit our website, this website, there is a interview AI. Yeah, AI interview. So this product is yet to be launched. Yes, mock interviews would be there. We have multiple mock interviews available at our KSR YouTube channel also. You can visit our channel totally free. You can go through that mock interviews. I will mostly share all the interview questions. Once you enroll for this course, a group would be created. Mock interviews would be there. You will get assistance related to interview questions, interview sessions also. So that won't be a problem. There is a new product also will be launched with from the KSR side, which is AI interview. So you yourself can give an interview. AI will assume as if you it's a interviewer, and it will give you the feedback. Maybe in few days this product would be launched. For this batch, I assume that for this batch it would be available.
Okay. And one more thing, like before this, I was also looking for Power Automates and Power Apps. So between these two, for as a career growth perspective, what to be chosen? Like, I need some help with this.
Okay. See, now it all depends on how you are, what is your aim. See, the thing is, if you want to learn this, maybe you want to learn more about data and analysis, you want to learn more about cloud, then this is best fit. In case if you want to learn without coding how a website is created, how a mobile app can be created, how chatbot is created. Now, there is a chatbot, right? So you visit any specific website, there would you will get some chatbots. You visit banking website also, you have chatbots, right? If you ask a question to that chatbot, it will answer your question. So similarly, if you want to perform a chatbot, if you want to create a website without coding, in that case, Power Automate, Power Pages, or Power Platform is best fit for you. But there is no cloud in that. There is zero cloud there. If you want to learn data with reporting and cloud, then this course is best fit. Now you have to decide whether you want to learn creation of website, mobile apps, or using some automation, create chatbots. There, the Power Platform is best fit for you. If you want to learn more about analysis, more about data, more about cloud, then this course is best fit.
There is some saturation level in.
Yes, there is definitely saturation level. From the Power Platform point of view, you can expect a maximum salary of 15 to 20. But if you know Power BI, if you know SQL, then you can expect up to 25, which is what we assume the average market. Any other questions? Okay, so you want to download the browser. See, all the courses are listed here. So you can download browser for this. If you click on this, a browser download would be available. Just a moment. Why this is not getting downloaded? Suparna, are you there?
Yes, Ritesh.
Can you? I'm getting some invalid credentials error. Can you log in and show how to download that browser, the free session browser?
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah. Any other questions until then?
Hi Ritesh, where can we find this recorded video?
Okay, good. Now that is what Suparna would be showing you.
Yeah,
You have,
Ritesh, just give me a moment.
yeah,
So can I share my screen?
yeah, I'll stop sharing. You can go ahead and share.
Mm.
Hmm. So how to go through this session? It would be available in YouTube. But along with that, if you want to attend from the KSR app, no, Suparna will show you how to go through the recording and how to go through the browser as well.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
See, guys, if you see, this is you can go to datavizon.com. So if you are new to the KSR Datavizon, just you can sign up. If you are existing user, just click on first click on courses. Okay, if you click on courses, here you have a lot of things are there. In that, just click on free sessions. In the free sessions, this will be the your course, full stack Power BI data analytics with Microsoft Fabric. Trainer is Ritesh. Just click on this.
The first thing is you have to sign up.
Yeah, you have. No, so that's what. Once you sign in, then if you are new to enroll, here it will ask enroll now. Already I enrolled for this course. That's why just click on access course. Okay, it will navigate to your environment. So here there is a in the left side here if you see course curriculum and free sessions. Click on this course curriculum. Okay, so let it open. Yeah, from here you can download. Okay, so from here you can just click on the download. See, it's downloading.
And with respect to sessions, you can show that class records also.
Yeah. Here there will be already some free sessions are there. Here you can go through this. There are what are the free sessions available. You can, if you want, you can go through this also, and some videos also there. How to overcome the circular dependency, and how to incorrect the totals in Power BI. Some demo videos also there.
Okay, so these are all recorded videos, pre-recorded videos. And if you want to access the same video, the same which we discussed today, it would be available post 30 minutes. Go to class records, Suparna, above. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually here it is live. It will be available, I hope, after 30 minutes of the session
Session
completes.
completion. Yeah.
So each day after the class, after 30 minutes, the recording will be available on this
Yeah,
portal.
recording would be available.
So access will be lifetime? Or will be...
Okay, good. Now once you enroll, default access is of 1 year, but we say it's lifetime. If you feel that after 1 year also you want to get the access, you want to extend the access, only email once to the KSR team, they'll extend the access for lifetime. Why we have kept it for 1 year is, we assume that you should have got a job within a year. If you still want to access that course, yes, you can still access it for lifetime. You have to only email our team, they'll extend it for life.
So now if you see, it is downloaded, just it's click on open. So this is the complete browser. So here, what are the course curriculums? I think it is taking some time to load. Power BI, Azure, and what are the tools we are going to teach. So everything will be here. Everything will be clearly shown here. What are the topics and what are that? So if you see, if we come to SQL, DDL, DML, DCL, like this, it will be structurally organized in the browser. Just everyone go through this browser, you will get the clarity. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out us in this numbers. I think here there is a number.
Okay, now if you download the browser also, or maybe if you visit our website, you can visit our website as well. If you visit the KSR Datavizon on Google, let me share my screen.
Yeah, I stopped.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay, so if you just visit our website, KSR Datavizon, scroll down at the bottom, you will find our contact numbers. This is the primary contact. Along with this, there are the other contact numbers also. You can contact them, or else you can submit if you have any query, inquire now. You have this option, right? So you can click on this inquire now option. You can easily inquire also, or maybe you can connect on WhatsApp as well. The WhatsApp would be connected. Right. So any questions you have, you can call, you can reach out to us, or even you can email. Our team will definitely reach out to you, maybe within next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but by end of the day, definitely our team will reach out to you. We still have 4 more sessions. You have ample amount of time. Directly do not jump. I am still there for next 4 sessions. You can attend them. If you have any questions, you can ask the questions, as many as questions in next 4 sessions. Post that, if you're satisfied with what I am teaching, you can enroll for this course.
Ritesh, one last question. I know we are over time.
No,
So
yeah.
we have anyway, you said that premium will be premium access will be given once we pay the fees, right? So how are the practice sessions will be assigned? So is there any practical data will be available in this website itself to practice whatever you're teaching?
Yeah, I would be,
Terms of
whatever I would be teaching, I would be sharing some data with you. What data set I'm using, I can directly share the data set. You can download that data set and you can access it from your end also.
Okay, so everything will be shared in this website itself, the practice data.
Website, there would be a WhatsApp team.
In the course page. In the course page.
In the course page
Okay.
also you can download, or it would be also shared in the WhatsApp also. So you need not worry on that.
Okay, thank you.
So when we enroll the course, where we get the recorded video?
Same way, you have to log into our website. Once you log in, first 5 sessions also you can access on our website, as Suparna shown you. You have to create your login, or maybe you have to sign up with your Gmail or whatever email IDs, personal email IDs. Go to that courses option, free sessions. You enroll for first 5 sessions. Once you enroll for the paid sessions, you yourself will be automatically able to see all the free sessions as well as paid sessions going there. So you can attend. There is a KSR app also, mobile app also. You can download that as
well. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, I guess we're all good. Still, we have 4 more sessions. Try to attend as much as possible, ask as much as questions as possible. Once you are satisfied, yes, you will be reached out. Maybe you can reach out to your team, or maybe our team will reach out to you. Right? Thank you. Thank you for attending today's session. Have a great day. Let's connect back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, good morning. Good evening if anyone joined from US. Kamlesh, Balakrishna.
Good evening.
Good morning. Wait for a couple of minutes. Let's join other people. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, casual questions, something we can discuss, guys. And have questions we can discuss now.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
Currently, I am pursuing my master's from USA.
Okay.
Is this course is any useful for the upcoming career in USA or any
So if you
future
are
goals?
planning for data side, obviously it will be helpful. Like already now US market, data analytics, data science, data engineering, all these are booming in generative AI. So good thing is for data particularly, you no need to change your domain entire your life. Other
Okay.
technologies, any other technologies, maybe after some level of a point, maybe we need to change the domain also. Example from the testing. Some extreme level, there is a saturation point for that package wise also in India or US. It will be very difficult to get a better opportunities. We need to be change complete domain. But in data, you can start with the simply data analytics, SQL, Power BI, add Azure, add a Python, add PySpark, add machine learning, deep learning. From data analyst to data scientist to data engineer to cloud engineer to cloud architect, all are relevant subjects. What are you are learning SQL today? Maybe to Monday onwards, SQL will start. The SQL will be entire data field. Anyway, if you go any data field, it will be SQL will be mandatory subject.
Okay. What is this? Is there any scope of in USA market right now?
US market depends on your visa, Harshit. Actually, maybe OPT
I am
or
a F1 visa.
F1 visa.
Right now, I'm
Again, OPT when it will be start?
in by the end of the May, this May.
So OPT is fine, but H1B I feel like a little low in the calls for H1B. Mostly they are focusing on EAD, GC, and even OPT it
Yes.
seems. If market opens, you will get a good number of calls. Anyway, you are going by own marketing, or else you are depending on any vendor something.
Right now, I had not decided anything. Mostly through vendors only.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe if it's recording, I can say or not. When you are going with the vendors, they will make your experience minimum 6 to 7 years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you know, right? So you have to be
Yes.
prepared. Like technically, you should be strong. Even though they are making your experience 6, 7 years as well, you have to be
Yes.
work like in a 6, 7 years experience guy.
Yes, yes. And
So
that's the
that's the
main
reason even
problem
our
I'm also
courses are
facing.
most of our students from US and India and US to Canada, minimum 20 to 25% student joining from US, Canada only. So that's the reason our courses also designed equal to a 4, 5 years experience guy, how much knowledge he have, that much knowledge we are going to be deliver here. That's one reason it's taking too lengthy. Mostly you can see in the market Power BI course in the sense 45 days or 2 months.
45 days.
But here it's taking 4.5 to 5 months.
Yes, I had seen
Reason
that also.
SQL only itself, we will take 22 lectures, Power BI 40 lectures, including page-netted reports, advanced charts, DAX functions, and we are providing Power BI premium license. And again, Azure Data Factory, Databricks concepts, and Fabric. Fabric came into the market hardly a year back, but immediately we are trying
Yes.
to adapt the Fabric.
Yes.
So
Is
all
there
these are reason only to compete with the competitor. Competitor in the sense like your co-student, co-colleague, or else who are applying for the same job. Compared to their resume,
Yes.
resume should be strong.
Yes, yes. That's the main problem.
That's the reason we are making. Even
I'm also
I saw
having too
lot
much
many
experience
resumes.
in India.
Some cases the vendors made resume, right? Even those persons don't know all the skill set, but they are keeping in the resume.
Yes, that's the main problem.
Yeah.
is there any intermediate courses there? Someone who already know Power BI and SQL, is there any courses directly to know about advanced levels of Power
We
BI
don't
and a
have like that.
Fabric?
Maybe in between you have to join only Azure and Fabric. Yes, you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's why once Power BI completed, right? We will take a new admission. Two reasons. Ones who are already working. Another reason who taken the
Mm.
outside.
Mm.
Just they learn SQL and Power BI. For them, we are taking admission for Azure and Fabric.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
please let me know that. I am
Yeah,
looking
sure.
those
It's
kind of
mostly start in
course.
April and currently one evening batch is going on. That is the SQL is done, Power BI also 30%, 40% done. So Azure will start after 1 month.
Though, so it is as you say, it's a India timing evening, right?
Evening 8:30 p.m. IST.
But yeah, it doesn't work for me because I'm
Yeah, for the
working.
same time,
So,
in the sense, from now onwards, 3 months it will take.
okay.
Or else we'll do one thing. If it's
Mm.
a little urgent for you, Ritesh completed recently one batch around 10 days back only. You
Mm-hmm.
can take that record sessions of Azure and Fabric. Once new batch starts again, you can rejoin.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I will connect with you.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Anyone have?
Yeah. Now, when you say SQL,
Mm-hmm.
now, say for myself, I have no knowledge in SQL. So, will that be from scratch, or is there some basics
We
that we
will
will?
think like you first time heard the word called SQL.
Oh, good.
Sometimes who knows already SQL like a ma'am, right? She will feel bored like when we are teaching SQL because very
True.
basics we will start again.
Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
This is Sri. So I have a question. So what are whatever so in this course is the SQL base is included or you're talking about other one, sir?
No. SQL also we are starting. Today it's a kind of master class and what is the data analytics and what are the curriculum we are covering and how will be there in the market. Those kind of we will discuss. Tomorrow onwards, we will start with the SQL.
Okay,
MySQL we are
so
going to be teaching. Yes.
the contest is SQL and what else, sir?
After
What
that,
is
SQL, Power BI, then Azure, then Fabric.
Azure Databricks, you mean,
Yeah,
right?
Azure Data Factory. Power BI
Data.
point of view, Data Factory will be the main agenda, not Databricks. Data engineers, Databricks will be very important for them.
Okay. So PySpark, this one, because I'm
No,
from
those and
non-IT.
all data engineering. PySpark we are not covering. Here only analytics related analysis. Data engineers need a PySpark as a mandate.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
yeah.
you are to learn Databricks and PySpark, that comes under data engineering. We are starting that course from 20 March, morning 6:30 a.m. IST.
Okay, but I'm looking like, even the SQL from basics, sir.
Yeah, there also we will teach us. SQL is a mandate, ma'am. Any data, you heard the word called data, SQL should be there.
Okay, got it. So is there any chance like, I can get into this course and parallelly can I attend only PySpark in any, is there any chances like that?
Only PySpark, we don't have that, but we can do one thing. We made a separate recorded lectures for PySpark of the recent batch. Only PySpark, you can go there. It's a hardly 25 lectures, something, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So,
can learn here data analytics and only PySpark you can adapt there. We will discuss offline later.
okay. Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay,
So
Power
is
Apps
this
developer, I heard
is
Sayed, like
this
Power Apps also already comes with a very less coding. Even their agenda only low coding. You felt too much coding there also? Sayed?
Yes, sir. Actually, people are saying no coding, but it is full of coding. It's a
Okay.
myth that no coding, low code, and all that. I'm having approx 6 years of experience with decent package. But expectation is more. Okay, we cannot achieve through Power Apps. The
Yeah,
client's expectation is more.
because of the most into the integration parts and their business requirement, maybe you need to write a code. But the
Means,
basic scenarios, maybe no need of coding, but in your requirement, maybe it's a huge, it seems.
yeah, actually, while taking the project, managers are saying you have to develop in Power Apps, but sometimes Power Apps is not suitable for a certain use cases. So we have to put some extra efforts. We have to put JavaScript, everything we have to put in Power Apps, okay? And the main thing is that, responsiveness, okay? Power Apps, in order to make Power Apps responsive, we have to put all efforts, okay? So, will you please suggest any other courses for me?
So you are looking for in India or else US?
Yeah, in India only.
India only, right? So data analytics also comes with a less coding. Zero coding, there is no chance. Less coding, SQL is there.
No. Coding is fine, coding is fine, no issue. But relevantly, if it is not possible, no, if I want to put 1000 kg weight on
Okay, got it.
it
Then
is
Power
not
BI will
possible.
suits you like anyway. Even data analysts also there are some companies are expecting some basics of Power Apps. So when you already have Power Apps and data analytics and Azure, it will become easy to get into the market and to get the job.
Sir,
And
frankly speaking, I know Power Apps, Power Automate, okay, SharePoint basics, and
Dynamic 365 integrations.
yeah. So
Add
this
a
course
Power
is
BI for
suitable
that.
for me. Yeah.
Focus more into the visualization and data analytics, right? So you no need to get that much of pressure. You will get to know like how it will be going to be happen and a trainer going to be
Data analytics means how many things you want means.
SQL, Power BI is the main agenda, but now most of the data is located in Azure cloud platform. So that's the reason we are adding Azure and Fabric.
Azure, somewhat I know, making a Azure Active Directory and all that.
Then DevOps also is another, but nowadays without coding there is no even data analytics also some extreme we need to learn Python if required. DevOps people also they are working on Python now.
Okay.
So without coding, very less courses, and even though if they are also, we don't get that much importance in real time. So when companies will give the better opportunities, it will be tough, should be tough job. If it's very easy, someone will do easily, right?
Yeah.
And we won't get the priority.
Yeah, in order to boost my package, I just want to do some courses.
Yeah. So the package also important in India, particularly your package is more than 20, 25 lakhs. Even this course also not suits you. I won't suggest them.
Not that much. You
Then
can
fine.
say 15 plus. I have.
Up to 25, it's very easy in data analytics. If more than 25 lakhs will become difficult. Even to get up to 25, it's fine. Our students got even 30, 35 also, but average package, we can consider 10 to 20 lakhs will be very easy roles. We can get easily. After 20, it will become tough, like it depends on your capability and total number of years of experience.
Okay. Got it.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. I am Suvik Swagar. Sir, I have a question, sir. AWS cloud is important, sir, for data analytics.
No, it depends on what kind of roles you are looking. AWS is in a different aspects. Data engineers they will use, and AWS they will use for DevOps also, and admins will be there. And data analytics is a different kind of domain, and cloud will the different domain. Data analytics usually to analyze and visualize the data of the any company depends on their business requirement.
Let me pitch in.
Should I learn?
Yeah. Thanks for joining. You can take it over now.
Okay. Yeah. So to answer in simple way, see, we would be focusing on Power BI, we would be focusing on SQL. So most of our products are related to Microsoft. So, I mean, Power BI can connect AWS, but most feasible or most easiest cloud to connect is your Azure. So that's the reason we are covering Azure with Power BI. If you're saying AWS, yes, we can have some connectors for AWS to connect with Power BI, but I mean, as I've said, AWS is a product of Microsoft. Sorry, it's a product of Amazon. So Azure, it's a product of Microsoft. So somewhere a good option is available from the Power BI point of view, from the data point of view, if you're learning Power BI, so that we can easily connect with Azure as compared to AWS.
Oh,
That's the
okay, sir.
reason we are covering Azure.
Okay, sir. I got it. But sir, I am a freshers MCA graduate, but my dream is I got a job is abroad, like foreigner country, Ireland, Australia. But is it possible as a freshers or within 1 or 2 year experience after that?
What possibility you're checking about? I mean, see, even if you have 1 or 2 years of experience and you're working from the outs of India, I mean, out of India, abroad. Now the
Yes,
question
sir.
is how you're choosing the career. If you're choosing with AWS, then the AWS with data analytics, it's comparatively more or less because AWS is more suitable for DevOps related roles. See, why am I saying only for DevOps? May not be for analytics is along with AWS, Amazon has no reporting tool. They have no reporting tool in the market. Either you have to learn Tableau or either you have to learn some other reporting tool, which is again a third party. I mean, AWS is nowhere related to Tableau. AWS is nowhere related to Power BI, but Power BI is easily co-integrated with Azure services. So that's one benefit. We end up using Azure most of the times for Power BI related aspects. If you're working with AWS, maybe your target is to achieve with data analytics, then you have to change your role. If you're targeting DevOps or AWS data engineering, yes, it's a totally different.
Okay. But after that, Azure, should I learn my AWS cloud? Is it good?
I mean, see, if you want to learn AWS, you have to start with SQL. SQL is where it is compulsory. I mean, you have to learn with SQL. You have to start with SQL. Then you can end up using any cloud. Might be AWS, might be Azure, or even GCP also.
Okay, sir. But AWS is a DevOps line, or different line, right?
Yeah, from the our course of point of view, yes, it's a different line. You can still use AWS with the other reporting tools or even with Power BI, but not that suitable. That is what I'm trying to explain because it is not directly integrated with any reporting tool. You consider any reporting tool, might be Power BI, Tableau, Click. All the reporting tools are nowhere related to Amazon. So AWS is related to Amazon. So that's the reason mostly people end up using similar clouds which are more suitable for the reporting tools.
Okay, sir. But if I learn AWS and only SQL, two skills, but if any opportunities are available as a freshers,
It all depends. You have to enter this field. Yes, there are opportunities available, but it all depends how you are integrating cloud, how you are good in SQL. It all depends on that.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir. But foreign country job is available after 2 years experience or 1 year, 3 years experience.
Are you targeting foreign country job applications? Are you targeting now or are you abroad now as of?
No, I am targeting now.
So it will take some time, right? For abroad opportunities, it all depends how you are entering that market, right? So which country you are targeting, even that is also important. You said Australia. Yes, probably you have to enter after 2 or 3 years.
Okay, sir. Australia and Ireland, my main target, sir.
We have students from there also from Australia, and recently, even yesterday, also one lady she cleared her second round. She was also into the data analytics only. So data analytics will be the market entire the world anywhere if you go. Data analytics, data science, data engineering. All these three subjects will have a good openings. You can do your own research also from the LinkedIn or also who are already working. Maybe you are looking for particular Australia in the sense maybe your friends or colleagues, someone is already there, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, better you can check with them.
But sir, if I learn only Microsoft Azure or GCP?
Now you can start with any one cloud. Azure is fine. Her Power BI, it's more Azure only will interact.
Okay, which
Other
is easy?
concepts you can depends on the projects. Once you know any one cloud, other clouds are easy. It will be very easy to understand.
Microsoft Azure.
Yes, it is simple. Like I will give a funny example. If you know any one kind of car driving, right? The other brands maybe the interface looks different, but the driving will be same, right?
Yes, sir.
Similar way. So each brand or else each company, they have their own kind of interfaces, their own kind of facilities. But the main way of driving will be similar.
Yes.
Similar way here. If you know any one cloud, to understand about the other cloud will become very easy.
Okay, sir.
But in the market, mainly mostly into the AWS are using more, around 35 or 36%. After that, Azure 28%. And total usage, not only analytics point of view. Analytics point of view, Azure will be the more. But regular usage, AWS will be the more. Second, Azure. And third will be the GCP. GCP hardly have a 10% market share. But now Azure is emerging. Azure is using more and some projects even migrating from AWS to Azure.
Oh, okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
I got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll take over, Mesh, there.